Okay, just into federal politics now, Matt. And we spoke about stage 3 last week. You mentioned you'd push back, perhaps get an amendment going, but ultimately you'd probably come behind it. Are you still of that view?
Well, look, we're meeting in a couple of hours, my colleagues and I. So, look, I'll wait for those discussions now. As I said last week, I'm sure I said last week, this whole debate shows that you'll pay more taxes under the Labor Party. That's what you'll do. And we learnt that yesterday in the Senate committee process, that there'll be $28 billion more taxes paid by Australians over the next decade because of these changes. The government and Treasury won't tell us how many more Australians will pay that $28 billion. Either they haven't worked it out or they're just hiding it from us. But the bottom line is you'll pay more taxes under a Labor government. I'm sure through any amendments we move and whatever policy we take to the next election, we'll make sure that Australians will pay lower taxes. And that's what we'll be trying to convince the Australian people about.
Give us a tease on what sort of reform that you'd offer up the next election?
Well, I do think the stage 3 reforms, flattening out the tax system, having a 30% flat rate for middle Australia is a good reform. I don't think it's fair.
So you'd like to see that returned? You'd like to go to that flat rate?
Well, obviously I'd like to see that because that was our policy. We'll have to assess the budgetary situation and the wash-up of everything. We'll obviously fight for something like that in the Parliament. We'll see how we go and see what support we can get from the crossbench. And then after that, we'll have a look at what we can do next. But overall, I just don't think that someone on 150, 160 grand a year should be facing a 37% marginal tax rate. It's very, very high. It's a punishing to aspiration to lose more than a third of the income from you working hard and getting a promotion. That should be lower, and that was our plan. That was the Labor Party's plan. It was the plan they told you they supported just 18 odd months ago, and now they've broken that promise. So we'll see what the Australian people think of that in the election in the next year or so.
Matt Canavan, we will leave it there. Appreciate it, though. We'll talk to you soon.